hello, Sanibonani. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people, depending on where you are in the world. Let us know where you are watching us from. Drop a flag, drop an interesting fact about where you are watching from. Where are you joining us from? And if you are new here, my name is Tenjiwe. I am a South African stand-up comedian and content creator. I currently live in the UK. And welcome to Breakfast Show, Yantambama, the only breakfast show where it can be breakfast for me and ntambama for you. It can be ntambama for you and breakfast for you, because we know it is breakfast somewhere, but somewhere else in the same world, it is afternoon, evening. So it is breakfast show and ntambama, whether you're eating dinner, eating pap, eating cornflakes. Thank you so much for joining us. We don't judge. We don't judge either person. We listen. We don't judge. Whether you've already opened your wine, whether you're having your morning tea, we say, welcome. Happy Tuesday. And around here, Tuesday means one thing. Travel Tuesday. Because every Tuesday is Siyahamba. Every Tuesday we travel. Sometimes physically, sometimes spiritually, sometimes verbally, sometimes financially. We stay exactly where we are because have you seen the prices of flights? Have you seen how expensive it is to travel? Hey, guys, flights. We are paying for the pandemic, because when you look at the prices of flights, I have a flight to book. I have a flight to book to South Africa next month in September. Keep looking at the prices and hoping they're going to come down. Especially, you want to book business class, we have to decide. Sell your house. Sell it. It's like you have to sell. You can't just buy. It's like you're taking a mortgage. It has become so expensive to travel. You have to go via. Just buying a direct flight. I saw an economy direct flight with one of the direct airlines, British Airways. Not even to Durban, to Johannesburg. It was in the 3,000s. Like, why? Why am I paying over 3,000 pounds just to get to South Africa? And the cheap flights, why is it going to take me 37 hours to get to South Africa? A trip that can take me 11 hours. Why must it take me 37 hours? Because I just want to save a bit of money. But today I want us to talk about something that every African living abroad experiences and will understand. Every African, doesn't matter whether you come from the east, the south, the middle, the north, if you are an African living abroad, or if you are an African living within your own country but away from your hometown, you will definitely understand this. People who have never worked away from home, people who have never migrated, find it hard to understand this. Like your colleague finds out you're taking 3 weeks annual leave. They say, oh, lovely, where are you going? But if you are African, you know the answer. When your colleagues ask you, where are you going? What is the answer? Oh, you're going to rest. Rest? My darling, I am not going on holiday. I'm an African. I don't go on holiday. I go home. I'm reporting for duty at home. And right now, especially right now, with us Africans who are parents abroad, there is something that we do. Because this is summer in most Western countries. And this is when children are off school for the longest period. It is winter, especially in South Africa. Let me speak for South Africa, because some countries may not experience winter, especially not the way we do. They've just had a long European winter or American winter. And then when summer arrives, you are taking them home to experience another winter in your home country. Why do we do that to ourselves? Especially, why do we do that to our children? Because we know that going home when you're African, especially living in the diaspora, is not necessarily a holiday. It's just an international assignment. Your child is traveling every year, but they've really never been anywhere. You don't get to rest when you go home. You live here being employed by the NHS, the social services, the bank, or wherever you work. And then as soon as you land at King Shaka or Tambo, suddenly you are appointed as the family Uber driver, financial advisor, Amazon delivery service, property consultant, marriage counselor, loan department, minister of small emergencies. Guys, why do we not go on holiday? Why do we go home? Because you know, before the aeroplane has even landed, somebody has sent you a message. Since you are coming, can you know, when you're going to go home, especially there are people who buy a whole new wardrobe when they're going home because they can't take the clothes they took last summer. Why do we do that to ourselves? It's very important to spend time with your family. Don't get me wrong. But you know what we should be doing? Even when you visit your home country, within those 3 weeks, dedicate 1 week to yourself and your children, or yourself, your children, your spouse, to go on a proper holiday. There are so many things to explore within our own countries. Don't just go and stay the 3 weeks in your grandmother's house. Because the money you are spending there is equivalent to the money you could have spent on holiday. Because you need to stay away from not getting a rest. That's why you get time off at work. You're supposed to unwind. And you know when you're going home, could you please bring me a perfume? Bring me a this. Since you are coming home, could you please check something for me? I thank God all the time for internet shopping, for online shopping. I just send people my address and say, order it, let it be delivered in my house. I'll take it for you. I'll bring it home for you. And a good thing now is there's a lot of these international shops will deliver anywhere in the world. You want something from this website? Oh, they deliver in South Africa. You order it. Because I booked a seat. I didn't book a cargo vessel. Why am I bringing everything for everyone? It's something that we really need to talk about, especially us in the diaspora. Going home is not a holiday. Stop lying to yourself and saying you're going on holiday when you're going home. Because you know the African homecoming, the diaspora homecoming, the money, the suitcases, the relatives, the expectations, the guilt, the happiness, the chaos. When are you going to use your money to enjoy life? You are here to enjoy life, not to suffer. Like, you need to be able to go home and actually come back feeling like you had some kind of a break. Because a lot of you come back home even more tired than when you left. You need annual leave after annual leave. Maybe after 3 weeks, take 1 week to actually go on a real proper holiday. It's such a headache, guys. Like, I'm preparing to go home. But let's just start from the beginning. Start from the suitcase. That's where it starts. When you are packing. Normal people pack for themselves. But Africans in the diaspora pack according to economic needs of the entire village. That's why you find us at the airports, even though we know the airline says checked baggage 23 kg. You will find Africans unpacking and packing and repacking and re-unpacking and packing again. Because for an African family, that's not your luggage allowance. No, that's just a suggestion. Because now, if you bring this for this auntie, you cannot bring for this uncle. If you bring this for this niece, you have to bring for this nephew. Meanwhile, when your children ask you for things that they need, for things that they like, you tell them how hard things are, how much you don't have money, how they don't consider you, blah, 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 you're not the ATM. But every year you're going home. Like sometimes we are the one who build the resentment in our children. Because every time you go home, you buy for everyone and their cousin. But your own children, you can't even buy them a simple T-shirt from Primark. You'll tell them about budgeting and how things have changed and about the economy. But when it comes to your village people, everyone has a claim. Even your own clothes. You wear a dress, somebody else is already claiming it. Oh, you will leave this one for me. They see your underwear. Oh, you will leave this one for me. Some random man sees your underwear. Oh, leave this bra for my wife. Oh, bring me these vitamins. Bring me painkillers. There is no phrase I fear more when I'm traveling than it's only small. It's a small parcel. Because 7 people with small parcels can easily just create 14 kg in your 23 kg suitcase. And somehow everybody's parcel is essential. I just bought a jacket for my mom. I just bought spices for my mom. I just bought this for my this. I just bought my shoes. I bought these shoes, they don't fit me. Please take them to my sister. Oh, just a small blender. My mother is not well. She can no longer chew. Please take her this, like there are blenders in Africa, guys. Already, before you even start packing, it's already stressing you. It's already not giving holiday mood. It's already giving stress. Why are you transporting a blender across continents? They will come when you've already packed. Your suitcase is sitting beautifully at 22.4 kgs. Ah, they come. The phone. I'm sending someone to your house quickly. Sending who? Someone's gonna miss you at the airport. You get to the airport, there's a gentleman you've never met standing there with a bag the size of Swazini. Like, Aibo, this is the size of Lesotho. Why are you carrying Mount Kilimanjaro? You want me to, where am I gonna put this? Oh, it's just a few things, my sister. Excuse me. Just a few things. Why am I responsible for your cargo? And Africans know how to make you feel terrible for refusing. You tell them, I'm sorry, my suitcase is full. Oh, it's okay, I'll pay. They like to say, I'll pay. Or they'll be like, hey, and just making you feel guilty, like you are the one who's disorganized them. We are the reason their mother is not going to make it because you can't take the blender to Africa. I just thought because my mother hasn't seen me in 7 years, she'd be really happy if she receives this. Send it with someone else, not me. Why am I responsible for your family reunions? Must I remove my own shoes now and put yours? In this hot weather, you'll be going to the airport wearing 3 jackets just to make up space. Not because it's cold, because you need to be carrying things for people. Because your suitcase is carrying somebody else's entire Christmas. Someone once wanted me to take a Christmas tree for them. A whole Christmas tree. And when you tell them they have these things in Africa, oh, but they don't have one like this. Oh, but I got this at a charity shop, very, very cheap. Guys, we need to learn not only to respect people's travels, but also to not think going home is going on holiday. Because before you even get to the airport, you already started stressing. You can never say, I'm going to Spain for a week and have people call you. Oh, can you bring this? Can you take this? I've got a brother there. Yeah, guys. And then when you arrive home, this is the time when you're supposed to be resting. You've been working the whole year. You've been working hard, double shifts, day and night, living on noodles so you can afford a flight ticket. You arrive. Everybody wants to know, what did you bring? What did you bring? These are people who've been staying there, building their houses, building their empires, taking their children to private schools. They never ask, how was the flight? Are you tired? Would you like some water? Can I give you any? No. What did you bring? Open the suitcase, let's see. And you guys call that a holiday. And there's always somebody who thinks they are being smart by telling you, oh, don't bring me anything. They actually mean bring me something. Why would you even tell me not to bring you anything? Those are the most dangerous people. Never trust that don't bring me anything. Why is this even a subject? Because when you start handing someone else a parcel, their face will change. Their face will change. And African communication sometimes requires advanced interpretation, guys. Because don't bring me anything means surprise me. It means don't forget me. And when you surprise me correctly. Because you can travel 9,000 kilometers with a gift and still get it reviewed as if they bought it from Amazon. Oh, you bought me these shoes. Didn't they have them in red? Why? Why? We need to, especially us who have children, guys, we need to take our children on holiday. This going home is not going on holiday. Going home is going to stress yourself more than you stress yourself at work. It's nice to catch up with family. It's nice to meet your family, but it is not going on holiday. Stop telling your children you're taking them on holiday when you are going home. And going home is different to going to your country because there are so many things. Like there are South Africans who've gone home every year for the past 22 years. But they've never been to Johannesburg other than the airports. They've never been to Cape Town. They've never been to Mpumalanga. They've never been anywhere, even in their own cities. They've just never been anywhere. They go to their grandmother's house to listen to their cousins who've never left the country, tell them about every beautiful thing they've seen in the country. And let's talk about money, because this is where homecoming becomes complicated. Because you land from England, from America, from France, from wherever you live. And somehow the pound sign, euro sign, dollar sign is visible on your forehead. Somehow people think when you grow money where you live. The trees are not leaves. They have money. Nobody knows that you pay rent. Nobody knows that while you are here, you are not earning, you are losing a salary, but you still have to pay your rent, your council tax, your electricity, your gas, your transport, your food. You still have credit cards, you still have insurance, you still have phone bill, internet. They just know nje England, therefore money. Pounds equal money. Whoever was buying bread never touches their wallet again. You can tell them, no, things are expensive in England. And somebody will convert your salary into rands. Somebody will tell you, but 5 rands, £5 is over 100 rands. But you know how many £5 I make? And that is the biggest mistake you can ever make, is telling your people how much you earn. Because some people get so excited. They'll tell people how much they earn, but they never tell them how much they spend just for survival. Just on basic survival, how much you spend. Because yes, when you convert your salary, you'll be like, oh my God, I only do this job, but I make so much money. But how much are you spending? Most people who live overseas, most diasporians, have never owned and will never own, as long as they live abroad, a brand new car. But while you are home, you are renting a car for 3 weeks. And the money you are paying to rent and impress your people is more than the money you used abroad to buy the car that you use every day in snow going to work. Why are you renting a Mercedes? But here you're driving a $500 car, a £500 car. But for the 3 weeks you are home, you are spending £2,000 for a rental that you're only gonna drive for 3 weeks. Just because of the pressure you are getting from your people. Just because you want people to see that when now you live overseas. Who's fooling who? Who are you fooling? Are you really fooling people, or are you fooling yourself? Why are you telling people that £2,000 is 50,000 rands? But you're not telling them that you are renting 25,000 rands for a room in a shared house. If you're going to convert and tell people about finances, be honest and tell them that my landlord takes 30,000 for a single room in a shared house. I hear so many people saying, oh, things are so cheap at home. Things are not cheap at home. Things are not cheap at home. Oh, but I paid 500 rands and it only took 20 pounds. Here, you can't even take your own children to McDonald's, and you go home, you want to take people to 5-star hotels because you live overseas. Take your children on holiday. Go on holiday. Stop going home to impress people. Start living your life for yourself. Stop converting and making yourself feel like you are spending less. You are not. Because when you are abroad, you'll be like, me, I don't eat Nando's. I know that chicken wings at Sainsbury's are only £2. Why must I go to Nando's and pay £15 for wings? But then the minute you go home, you'll be taking your old schoolmates that you haven't seen since primary school, and you'll be taking them to restaurants where you've never taken your own children, where you've never taken yourself. You'll be buying gifts in shops where you never buy for yourself, where you never buy. You are busy buying things from charity shops for yourself and your children. But you get home and you want to impress people and you're buying them brand new designer clothes. Guys, going home is not going on holiday. We need to enjoy our money. Let our children enjoy their rest, enjoy their school holidays. You forget that British guests want their pounds. Tesco wants their pounds. They don't care that your salary is impressive in Guamash. You say it's only 45. It's not like you're earning 45,000 pounds. You're earning 45,000 rands in rands, but you don't live in rands. You live in pounds. Of course, there's a joy and it's beautiful to go home and see your people, but that should not be your life. That's not supposed to be what you work for. Work to go home. To take your sisters for lunch when you've never taken your children for lunch. You can't even buy KFC for your children in the diaspora, but you want to take people to 5-star restaurants when you get home. You want to spoil other people's children, but you can't even spoil your own children in the diaspora. Taking time off work should be the time you spend with your child. Even if you just do a staycation instead of holidays. You want to buy something for your aunt, but your child can't even go on school trips because they must understand that when now you are a single mom, you work hard, you are in a foreign country, they can't go on school trips, but you have money to buy a phone for your aunt. You want to always volunteer. It's today I'm paying, it's on me. That's beautiful. The problem is once the community discovers that you are paying, the guest list will expand. The drinks will change. People think, oh, now we're spending Elon Musk's money. Now we're spending Obama's money. Because the rich auntie, the rich uncle is paying from overseas. You thought you were taking 3 people to lunch. Suddenly cousin is also coming. And cousin has the children and the baby daddy. And that baby daddy's cousin who's going to drive them. And you still have to pay him for petrol because he drove them. And then pay him for parking. And pay him to thank him. Guys, the things you go home to impress people with. Impress your children. Order out for your own children in the diaspora. Don't only go to restaurants when you are home. There are restaurants in the country where you live. There are people who've not even been to Harrods. There are people who've not even been to the London Eye. But you've lived here for 20 years. You just live to work, 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 and go home to impress people. You've never taken your children to Legoland. You've never taken your children to Disneyland. But you've paid for people's weddings at home. Guys, we need to change. If we see you in a restaurant at home, we would swear there's an ANC conference. But you can't even order a burger for your child in the diaspora. They have to understand that things are hard. But you are busy popping bottles at home. But when you are abroad, where you are working, where you get tired every day, you can't even go to Wetherspoons with your friends because you don't have money. When Anje, you just want to be the one from overseas who's paying for everyone. The generosity budgets can destroy you. And this is something I've learned from experience. And I'm becoming very serious about it. Because when you travel home, you need to budget for generosity. Literally. Put it in your travel budget. Know exactly how much you're going to spend on generosity. Like when you put your list, flights, accommodation, transport, food, entertainment, shopping, generosity. You need to put how much you are willing to spend on generosity. Because that's why you come back broke. Some of you, after your visits at home, if the passport was lost or something happened that required you not to travel for another 2 weeks, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself, because when you get home, you spend everything you have, even your credit cards, everything, absolutely everything. And you know, our African families have very creative emergencies. Yes, some are genuine, some could have waited, some could have been sorted even if we were not home, but some are very just creative. By the week you are there, there'll be some creative emergencies. By week 2, you check your bank account and you are thinking, how did I come home with money and now I'm borrowing for my UK overdraft, I'm borrowing from my UK friends. You cannot spend September in South Africa like you're a billionaire, especially people who go in December. Oh my God, they always come back broke. Your cousins' children have gone to France, have gone to other African countries, have gone to different cities, but your child only goes home. Your child who lives in Manchester has not even been to London. The only London they know is Heathrow Airport, because you just work to go home. When you come back to England, you are eating toast. You need to learn to say no without being a villain. You need to learn to prioritize your own children, to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your health. Because our holidays are meant for you to have fun, are meant for you to rest so that you can restart again. But if you, so many people come back from holiday needing a holiday. But the biggest challenge is how to say no without being the bad person. Because sometimes the money is simply not there. I've been in a position where I was helping people with overdraft money, where I was helping people with credit card money, but those people didn't even know that. It took me a long time to get comfortable to tell people that I've already allocated where my money is going this month. I won't be able to help. You get home, you tell them, I've already allocated what I'm going to spend on this trip. I'm sorry, I don't have a budget for what you need. You don't need to say I'm broke. You don't need to discredit your hard work and discredit God. I'm broke. I don't have money. You have money. You just don't have money for what they want. And when you say you are broke, people start investigating and gossiping. But you went to Nando's yesterday. They become detectives with your own money. Learn to tell people, I don't have a budget for what you currently need help with. I've already allocated all my funds for this month. Because being able to go to Nando's doesn't mean I can finance your business. Doesn't mean I can pay your child's school fees. If you see me eating chicken and I told you I'm broke, I am broke for you, not for myself. 2 different budgets. And boundaries don't mean you don't love people. Going home and staying in Cape Town for a week doesn't mean you don't love your family. And you don't have to hide it from them. It just means I work hard. I would like to explore the world. God didn't bring you to this world to live between Peckham and Lamontville. In England, you are always in Peckham. From your flat in Peckham to the NHS hospital where you work, or a nursing home. And then when you get time off, straight to Lamontville, straight to Umlazi. Boundaries don't mean you don't love people. Not going home doesn't mean you don't love your family. Sometimes it just means I want us to still be speaking when I leave. Because resentment destroys relationships. I've got people that I resent only because of what I allowed myself to do. Things that could have been prevented by me understanding that no is a full sentence. By me understanding that I don't always need to help with what I don't have. Me understanding that don't help with people with money you are not willing to lose. Me taking loans for people, me giving people money for my credit cards, me giving people money from overdrafts, and them not paying it back. That creates resentment. When they say prevention is better than cure, even in friendships, in relationships, in family ships, in any ship. And if someone hates you because you couldn't help, because you couldn't avail yourself, they never lied to you in the first place. And one thing also we don't do, we become so comfortable that we don't even do any travel housekeeping. Because we travel a lot, we go to the same place every time. Sometimes people will be spending unnecessarily on things they could have prevented. Especially, I've seen lately a lot of people traveling to South Africa, South Africans traveling to South Africa, and they haven't done their research because it's so on autopilot that when I go home, this is what happens, this is what I do. A lot of people are not even aware about the South African online travel declaration. And then they get there and then they're being fined. Because as of the 1st of July this year, travelers entering or leaving South Africa, regardless of whether you're South African or not, as long as you are coming to South Africa through air, land, sea, rail ports, you are required to submit an online traveler declaration before traveling. So don't be arriving at the airports and now pretending you don't know what is happening. You think they are being corrupt. And what most people don't understand is this declaration, as much as we've always had travel requirements, it's very important to always check with the official government of the country you're visiting, even if it's your home country. Always check shortly before you travel, because I've had a lot of people, like friends who are travelers, who travel a lot, who've had to pay so much money. Because you declare, it's a SARS form you have to declare, and they will open your suitcases, they will check. If there are any new things, you will pay tax on them. You will pay tax on them. And when you are still taking things for people, imagine having to call your friend in Liverpool and saying, you know, that blender you gave me for your mom, they've just made me pay an extra 2,000 rand. You think your friend is not going to think you are being a crook. Breakfast show, Yantambama. Thank you for joining us. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and let us know what you think. Why do Africans go home instead of going on holiday? Why do we go home instead of going on holiday? Are we doing right by our children who live in the diaspora when their friends are going to Disneyland, are going to Spain, are going to France? We are taking our children back to our village every year. Our children are never enjoying summer because summertime we take them back to our countries where it's winter. By the time they come back, it's already autumn, and then they have another winter. Are we being fair to our children? When our friends talk about holidays, what do they talk about? Some of us don't even have our own places in our own countries. Taking your children saying we're going on holiday, but really they're just going to be sleeping on the floor in your grandmother's house. And while they are there, all their cousins are in school. Because holiday here is not holiday in your home country. Are we being fair to our children? Let me look at some of the messages. And please, as you join us, let us know where you're watching from. Let me look. It's so awkward when I'm watching, when I'm doing this on the phone. It's so awkward. I can't really see the messages. Anyway. Home is what we call holiday, which causes holes on our pockets. That is so true, Donald. That is so true. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. That is so, and it causes a lot of holes. And also, it takes away the experiences we should be having. So you live in America, go to Florida. You live in New York, take a holiday to Florida. How many people's birthdays have you sponsored back home, yet you've never celebrated any of your birthdays, any of your milestones? You don't even do birthday parties for your own children. But your cousin from Kufuki land tells you that their child has a birthday. Please give me something small. Now you're sponsoring a birthday because you have pounds, you have dollars. Yet your own children have to understand that mama is a foreigner here. She doesn't have money. We can afford to have a good life if we don't have 5 families to support with one salary. And our children end up being the ones who suffer. I love that. People need to know when they are not part of our budget. And it can be so uncomfortable. It's been so uncomfortable for me, but I've learned to say it. I'm not being mean. If I have money, I can help. If I have spare cash, I will help you before you even ask me. But I'm done making my own life uncomfortable to make yours comfortable for the choices that you made. I'm done. And another thing that I've realized, it's because when you ask people to do you favors, to do things for you, and they'll be wanting, suddenly they no longer use public transport, they must use Uber. Fine, fair enough, I'm inconveniencing you, but I no longer send them money. I will book the Uber from here. And it is so nice when you see, oh, it's only charged me £3.11. Because if you were sending them money home, you were not going to send £3. You were going to send £50. Oh, are you ready? Okay, I'll call an Uber. Here is a screenshot. Uber is outside. And Uber charges me from here. Oh, £4. It has saved me a lot of money. Try that. Even if you are not someone who uses Uber yourself, have the app. Have the app, I'm telling you. Precious Mills, thank you so much for your comment. No, we are not being fair to our children, and thank you for asking us parents this question. We are being very unfair to our children, and then some children even hate our home countries because they bring them no joy. And you take your child to be judged throughout the summer. Oh, they don't speak Zulu. They don't speak Xhosa. They don't speak Sotho. Look at what they are eating. We are not being fair, guys. Going home is not going on holiday. Taking your children home is not going on holiday. Being a simple person is a setback. We need to be honest. We need to be honest because sometimes we care more for other people than we care for ourselves. There are people you will only see at British Heart Foundation shopping for themselves. And when it's time to go home, you find them at Total Sports. Oh, I'm buying shoes for my sister. Your child, your own child who's growing here overseas is wearing clothes from a charity shop and from Primark, but you are busy buying designer clothes for other people's children. Like, make it make sense. A lot of you would even afford to travel business class if you didn't have to spend half your annual salary buying things for people you want to impress at home. We need to stop thinking going home is going on holiday. We need to stop. And it can be so cheap here in Europe. It can be so cheap to travel around. And I'm guilty of this. I'm talking about this because I've done it myself. The only difference with me is I am very lucky because the job I do has made me travel around the world. But when I can count, if I can count how many proper holidays or trips around the world I have booked for myself, are very few and far. And sometimes even when I go, it's to go and visit my friends. Oh, I miss my friend so and so. Their immigration status is not sorted, so I'll go and visit them. Meanwhile, they live in a place that was never even on my bucket list. Instead of buying a ticket and going to places where I would like to go, asking my child where he would like to go. And no, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to tell everyone when you are coming. I learned that I was the glue, not of the family only, but also the friendships and everyone. Because I would go home and I would maybe have a bride, call everyone, take them out. It's nice. Oh, I'm here, I'm coming. Everyone suddenly comes to my grandma's house. It's a family reunion. It's nice. And then I leave. And when I come back the next year, same thing. And these people have not seen each other since the last time I was there. Which means if I come back after 5 years, they will only see each other after 5 years. Why must it be my responsibility, the one who's not even in the country, to make sure that these family members see each other? And nobody calls you and reports to you what their child has done, what they have bought, what they have achieved, where they are going on holiday. A lot of these things you'll see that on social media. Why do you feel the need to tell everyone about your moves and your plans? You don't have to. You don't have to. Yes, it's good for your child to know their family, to know their cousins, but it's also very good for your child to feel as part of the country where they live, where they are growing up. A lot of diaspora children don't even know where they belong. They can't even be friends with their local age mates, because every school holiday, when children are playing outside, they're not here. They've gone home. We are not being fair. Going home is not going on holiday. It is not. And I don't want this episode to sound like I'm complaining about going home. Because besides all the madness, there's something incredibly special about going home. There's that feeling when the plane lands. When you go home, you hear the accents, especially if you have lived away for many years. It's like you're going to recharge your batteries. When you see the landscape, when you see familiar faces, because you know people from different countries look the same. You don't notice it until you start traveling. You can see a South African from behind, from the way they walk. You can see a hairstyle and tell that this is a South African before you even see their face. Like no DNA, purely just South African. When you hear your home language, even if it's a language you don't even speak or understand, but it's a language from your country, there's just some comfort you get just from hearing it. Seeing people in beads, in colorful Zulu outfits, there's just something about it. There's something about the language that is just healing. You can smell home. Home smells different. Like Africa is not a place, it's an experience. There's something your body recognizes before your brain even explains it. Nothing can beat the feeling of home. East or west, home is best. The food, the noise, the humor, the Ubuntu, being able to greet your neighbors. Because there are so many things that I so psychologically to about living away from home that I can never understand. The neighbors who don't talk to each other, and they're not even enemies. At least let us fight. People understand a joke without you having to explain the cultural background. Because living abroad sometimes means always having to explain things. There's just something about home. There's something about people who share the same blood as you, your family members. Home is beautiful. Home is an experience. Not having to explain about things, not having to defend things, not having to, ooh. At home, you say one sentence, everybody understands. They can even understand the sounds. Being able to respond with the sound and people understand the full paragraph you were saying just by saying, There's something special about dogs that understand food egg. Seeing people get older, people you grew up with. Going home reminds you that time is moving. Because when you are abroad, I've noticed a lot of people who live away from home don't even understand that they themselves have grown. They still behave the age they were when they first arrived. It doesn't matter if they arrived 30 years ago, because They don't see their age mates. They don't see people they grew up with. They don't see the progress, the success, the body decaying, the aging of people that they know. At home, you see your age mates. People send their children to ask for the elders, and you realize you are suddenly the elder. Children who were babies are suddenly taller than you. Somebody says, do you remember Sipho? Of course. Oh, that's his son. And when now you remember Sipho wearing nappies. And now he has a grown-up son. Like, when did it happen? Being home makes you realize that life does not pause for you. Because that's something that happens when you live away from home. You think time pauses for you. Being home reminds you that you need to do things differently. Because I will buy a house, I will do this. You suddenly realize that you need to move differently. So it's important to go home. But going home every holiday and not going anywhere else, going home matters. But going home should not be the only place where you go. Yes, not everything is about money. Sometimes just the presence is the best thing you can bring. Just to sit with your aunt, look at old photo albums. And as you get older, you realize you learn more about people from home, that you learn things you never knew about them. Because as your relatives get older as well, they start confessing things. They start telling you stories about your mother, your father, your grandmother. They start telling you stories. It's nice. It's good to go home. It's good for your children to go home, to connect with their origin, to listen to your uncle's story for the 45th time, to go to a place of worship with the people you grew up worshiping with, familiar songs. To take photographs for memories, to ask questions about your family history. There are things we think we will ask one day, and then the one person who knew the answer is gone. They're no longer here. So travel home is important. But it can't be the only thing you go. It can't be the only thing you invest your money in. It can't be the only place where you go. Going home will refill parts of you that you didn't even realize were empty. But going home is not going on holiday. You deserve a holiday. You deserve some rest. You deserve to sleep in that beautiful hotel. You deserve to go to that museum. You deserve to experience the London Eye. You deserve to take your children to Disneyland. You deserve to go and see a new country. You deserve to go to a country not because you work there, to go and experience. You deserve to be a tourist. And one thing we don't talk about enough that we need to talk about. It's slightly uncomfortable, but it's very important. The pressure to look successful when you go home. That's what destroys a lot of people financially. The pressure to look successful. That's something we need to talk about. Because some diaspora people prepare for going home like they are attending an annual shareholding meeting. Like, are you a shareholder of South Africa? Are you a shareholder of Nigeria? Fresh hair, new outfits, designer outfits, new phone, the latest, rental car, the latest rental car, designer sunglasses, perfume, all year round. They're wearing some cheap perfume from the pound shop. When it's time to go home, they're wearing a 200-pound perfume that they bought with a credit card. Because you need everybody to know that Europe has been good to me, that I am successful. Meanwhile, Europe is looking for you because Klana hasn't been paid. Why do we do this to ourselves, diaspora people? Because sometimes migration comes with expectations, especially in the Black community. Because a lot of us come from places where we are the first. And suddenly you feel like you are the ambassador of the country where you work. You must go home and show people how good the country is, even though you know the country is not even good to you. You're not taking photos of the potholes in that country. You're not taking photos of that dilapidated house that you are renting. You have to go home and show them that the country is good. Why do we do this to ourselves? You left, therefore you must succeed. Meanwhile, the only nice houses you see are the ones you clean. But no, you can't come home looking tired. You can't say things are difficult. Because somebody will say, but I thought you were in England. But I thought you were in America. They forget that England also has electricity bills, council tax bills. Can't even afford to have your hair done. Look at my hair. Because every time you look at the price of doing your hair, you're like, am I paying a mortgage? But you have money to impress people at home. Because there's this idea that because you moved overseas, the struggle was cancelled. But my sweet darling, let me tell you something. Struggle also gets a passport and a visa with you. Struggle comes with you, especially if you don't mentally leave your struggle back. Because you still have the same family. And sometimes we get ourselves into debt because we want to perform prosperity for 2 weeks. Out of the whole year, you want to perform prosperity for 2 weeks. Buying everyone drinks, paying restaurant bills, new clothes, gifts. And then you come back here. You can't even afford, you can't afford a 29-pound flight to Paris. The only time you've been to France is when you're going with those flights that don't go direct. And if you've only gone to the airport of a country and you never left, never touched the soil, you've not been there. Stop counting it as countries you've visited. I know people will be like, I've been to Ethiopia, I've been to Kenya, I've been to Dubai, I've been to Qatar, I've been to Egypt. They will be counting countries. And those are countries where they were connecting with the flights because they can't afford a direct flight to their home country. And they'll be talking like they've been to those. You have not been to those countries. Airports don't count. You need to exit the airports. Did you hand your passport to an immigration officer? Did they ask you how long do you intend to stay? Did they say, welcome to our country? Did they stamp your passport? If not, you have not been there. Stop making yourself believe you have traveled. You were passing by in Dubai. You were passing by in Doha. You were passing by in Egypt. And the reason you were passing by is because you could not afford a direct flight, because nobody wants to travel 38 hours when there's an option to travel 11 hours. You're doing that because you are broke, because the money you have is to go home and impress people. Imagine working all year round. And now you are sitting in economy, you can't even sit properly, you can't sleep because you're going home to impress people. Sometimes even a staycation is better. because you are scared that people will say, but what did he achieve overseas? You can't take a weekend off to go and celebrate with your friends that you live with overseas, because they will understand that, yeah, it's hard. Hey, we work hard. I can't take a Saturday off. But when you get your holiday, you are buying a ticket for £1,000 to go home and attend a wedding of someone you don't even know that well. You don't owe anybody a performance. If you've survived, especially survived in a country where you were not born, a country where you have no relatives, if you've worked, raised children, paid your bills, built your life, grown, you are doing okay. You don't have to impress people. If you are not borrowing sugar from your neighbor, you are doing okay. You don't have to arrive home looking like the CEO of Microsoft. It's okay to drive the Toyota. It's okay to wear the old dress you wore the last time you were there. It's okay to drink tap water, because you drink tap water all year round in a country where tap water is not even recommended to drink. And then for 2 weeks, you're going to be buying expensive water. You can't even buy a filter where you live. Go home with your bank balance intact. And social media has made it worse. Oh, social media has made it worse. The pressure is pressuring because of Instagram. Instagram has made this pressure so ridiculous. Nobody posts day 5 of my South African holiday. I stayed home and ate yesterday's chicken. No. No. You want to post at the rooftop, ocean view, champagne, safari. Yes, you can't even take your children to Legoland. You live 35 minutes away from Legoland. You say it's expensive. You don't have a mailing card for your family. You say it's expensive. Aye, guys, we need to do better. We need to prioritize our children and their happiness. And you need to ask your children what they like. You want your diaspora friends to look at you on Instagram and think, oh, everyone's doing so well except for me. Meanwhile, the person who posted it went back to London and they canceled their Netflix. Their phone company is chasing them. They have to go to a supermarket to connect to Wi-Fi. You must always remember, social media is the trailer. It's not the full movie. So what you see people posting on social media should not give you pressure. And, you know, this brings me to something that I think diaspora people should consider. Like, we should seriously consider this. Going home and going on holiday are not the same thing. Going home and going on holiday are not the same thing, guys. Sometimes home is rest. Fantastic. That's good. But sometimes, and more often than not, going home as a responsibility. It's funerals, it's weddings, it's property this, property that, weddings. And guys, going home can be complicated. Going home is not the best thing for your children. Going home is good, but it can't be the only thing we do. Yeah, guys, it's not the only thing we should be doing, especially for our children. For those of us who live away from home, yes, go home. Going home can be beautiful, yes, but it can also be annoying and complicated for our children. And it can be so expensive. That holiday you think you cannot afford, you can. You're just using your money to go home. You can't be responsible for sponsoring your own financial exhaustion. You can't be responsible for causing your own stress. Holidays are for you to rest, to see the world, to enjoy. God did not bring you on this earth to only live in Peckham and Mlaz. Only place you know is Birmingham and KwaMashu. Go home, but don't fool yourself into thinking when you go home you are going on holiday. And it's okay to break up the trip. For example, you're going to South Africa. You are South African. You're going home, you have 3 weeks. Take that 1 week with your child. Go to Hluhluwe, go to Safari, go to Kruger National Park, go to Cape Town, and then come back and spend some time with your family. But don't make your children suffer and force them to go spend their holidays seeing relatives who don't even see each other. The aunts you are going to see, they have not seen each other. They live in the same city. The last time they saw each other was at the uncle's funeral. And when now you want your children to go around instead of enjoying their life and going to explore the country. Use that money to buy property. Use that money to invest. Use that money to take your children to holiday in other countries. Even not just children, even just you yourself. You deserve better than spending thousands of pounds to go and sleep on your grandma's floor. Yeah, so guys, it's very important that we know and learn to separate the two. Going home is not going on holiday. Going home is not going on holiday. Please. Going home can be a full-time job. It's beautiful, but be careful not to be the reason your children don't look forward to going to your home country because you are making it a full-time job. Having said that, please travel safe. When you do, make sure you check the travel requirements. Don't be surprised like the people who are currently having to pay fines when they arrive in South Africa because of these new travel restrictions. And there are so many countries you can visit. It's just Google will tell you which countries are visa-free for your home country visa. You don't have to wait to have a British passport or an American passport to start traveling. Yeah, no, sometimes I've seen in the diaspora, people with no papers tend to explore the country better than people with papers. Because people with no papers, they know they can't go home. So they'll be like, okay, this summer we need to go to this province, we need to go to this city, they travel within the country where they live because they can't exit. Whereas people with the correct immigration status are the ones who only go home. You have a British passport. This is time to explore. So many countries can accept you visa-free. You can wake up and say, let me look at the cheapest flight, whether it's going to Budapest or Paris or Milan. You can decide whatever you can afford on the day. You can buy a ticket to another country on your way to the airport. But no, you're going to work hard so that you can go home. Make use of those visas, guys. Go to Amsterdam. Like travel, go. So what, you are broke? Take that flight, go in the morning, come back with the last flight at night. Come back and sleep in your house, but at least you've gone to another country. Take the Eurostar. Take the London tourist bus. Just pay for the ticket and sit and learn about the city of the country where you live. Go to that afternoon tea party. Go and have your afternoon tea at Harrods. Wear that beautiful dress. It doesn't have to wait for you to go to South Africa. Go and see that comedy show. Go and see that musical. Go and see the Lion King. Explore the country where you live. Life is not just about amapiano. You'll take a day off when someone you don't even know from South Africa, because you want to show your cousins that you saw someone who sings mapiano. You don't even enjoy mapiano. You just mentally want to be impressing people back home. Go to that spa in Poland. Live your life. Enjoy your life. Protect your money. Protect you, and get some rest. When you get time off, you deserve to rest. You deserve to rest. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and let me know what else you would like us to talk about. I'm going to be doing these lives Monday to Friday until the end of the month. We are still celebrating Women's Month in South Africa. August is Women's Month. We celebrate those women who marched in 1956 to go to the Union buildings to fight for our rights, to fight for you and I. So they didn't fight for you to just be traveling home only. They fought for you to be able to see the world, to be able to explore the world, to be able to go and enjoy yourself so that you can take your children to wherever you want to take them. Not because they just decided, yeah, they were bored and wanted to fight. They fought our rights. They fought for our rights. So we need to celebrate them by living the life they wished they could have lived, by living the life that they fought for. We need to celebrate them, guys. And please don't forget to subscribe. Subscription is free. Mahala. I love you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Subscription is free. Mahala.